is helm. Okay, create folder name is folder. I'm already in the yeah, the helm chart name, what I'm calling it as a Sangam. Okay, so it will create a helm chart now. ls this helm create Sangam folder, right? When I run this particular command, what it does is it creates a Sangam folder. Okay, inside that one, a boiler template chart, helm chart, it will go and create it. See it. Folder to ls-30. These all the files it has gone in and created it. With only this particular command. Okay, you need not byhead it. Okay, byhead the chart of it. Okay, it is a bit easy in order to create these charts. Okay. So boiler template chart it has been created. Okay, so let me create a. Let me open it in a IntelliJ. This window. So if as you could see, and what we ran created in a desktop. Trust this project. So if you see, this is the folder. This is the helm chart we have created. Okay. So as you could see, with the one small command, that is this one, helm create Sangam, it has created a boiler template for us. Okay. So in this boiler template, values.ml file, it mentions the repository, image repository, which we are using it. Okay. So meaning this chart, whatever the boiler template chart it has created, right? It has created from a Nginx. This is basically a boiler template of a Nginx web server. Okay. So that particular bit. So name, since I have given it a Sangam, it took that bit. If I go to the chart.yaml file, the name whatever I have mentioned, that you can mention, that you can see it over here. Okay. So what is the use of Helm chart and why we are using? So if you could, as a Kubernetes for any application, right? If you have to install multiple Kubernetes, okay, in order to group it together in a one chart using Helm, we try to do that. Sorry, this particular chart we try to do it. Deployment.ml file, any Kubernetes resource, right? You will be having deployment, ingresses, services, service account, right? It's a normal case. So what it has done is that particular command, it has given us a proper Helm chart for us. Okay? It has all our YAML files inside the templates. So in this normal Helm chart, what we will be having is a one chart.yaml file, values.yaml file, and a template. You need not byhead it. You do not understand what exactly it has been already written. It will give you a basic boiler templates that you can customize. Okay? We will be learning exactly we can customize it. Okay? So in the values.yaml file, this is the key, this is the value. Okay, that it has been referred. So deployment.yaml file, see here the image name, right? It refers as a values image repository. Values is the file name, values dot image dot repository. The value is Nginx. So in this way, image value will be filled in as this value is equivalent of. So if I wanted to do replace token, right? So if I wanted to do a find and replace, it will be like this. If I say replace, when we are running it, will be replaced as nginx. That is the values whatever we have mentioned it over here. Okay, so that is what at a runtime it happens. So now let me undo it. So what I will do is I will try to run this particular Helm chart now. Let us what it exactly deploys it. Chart. My chart folder name is Helm. I will go there. So the command is helm. I can't my font here. So in order to how exactly you can install your Kubernetes packages, right? The command is helm install. Okay. So I will say Sangam demo. Okay. Sangam demo. And you should be on the inside a particular that chart folder, or you need to give a path, absolute path. Okay. Here what I will give helm is the command. Okay. Install is the action what I am doing, and chart name is the Sangam demo is the chart name what we are giving it. Okay. Our release name what we are giving. I will say dot. Dot meaning is where exactly my chart resides. Currently I am inside my chart, right? That is the reason I am entered a dot. Okay. So if I enter here, see it says last deployed at today's date. Just now I have done it, right? Namespace is default. Okay. Status is deployed. Revision is number 1 version. If I say, you see here it has been deployed. That is what it says. So if I go and run, in order to check whether it has been installed or not, you will say helm. Okay. If I say helm ls, it says this is my release name, Sangam demo I had given. I will just minimize. You see here the name of my chart, name of my release is Sangam demo, where Kubernetes does install the default namespace. Version of this one 1. Updated my timeline mentioning it. Status it says deployed. If it is a failure, it is a failure. Okay, the chart name it says as Sangam. App version it says as 1.16.0. Okay. So I will explain from where it has picked up all these values. Okay. The chart name, if you see here, what it is. So the chart name, what it picks it up, our chart name. The Sangam, the name, it has came from particular YAML file. Okay. And the version is this version, okay, line number 18. Okay. And then it says our app version is 1.16.0. From where that value it has came, basically app version is 24. Here, this is what. That is what it has picked it up. Okay. So now let us go and check it out what exactly it has done it. So let me the font again. I will say kubectl get pod. Okay. Pod shortcut name is PO. Okay. Pod. Be able to see Sangam demo pod has been running. Okay. It has been started to 16 seconds. Okay. So our deployment, if you see here, deploy same Sangam has been up and running. Okay. So if you wanted to access this bit, okay, so I will check it out. See, it is running on our service demo. Okay. So if you wanted to access this particular application as a kube port forward, you can do that. You would be able to access this bit. Okay. But this is the Helm chart at bit. So I'll go in a bit detail of the Helm part. So here, if you could now we have created our first version. Okay, so think that we wanted 10 pods should be running, okay, of Nginx application. Okay, where exactly you can make the changes. So currently, if you see, I have the one pod. Okay, only one is running, right? So we wanted 10 pods. Think that we have a hell lot of performance issues, and our application, many guys are using it. So we wanted to increase the size of it. Because of a load, we wanted to increase the size, increase the number of pods. Okay, how do you do that? If we go to the deployment, okay, deployment .yaml file, which is present in templates folder. Okay, if you go there, so our replicas, you need to search for replicas. Okay, so if you see line number 9, it says replicas. So for this particular replicas, the value is getting substituted from values dot replica count. Okay, values is our values file name. Okay, replica count. So copy that and search it over here. Okay, here if you see replica count, we have given it as a 1. Okay, so now I wanted to increase 10. Okay, for 10. Okay, so now we have updated, we have changed our configuration. Okay, now using Helm, you wanted to apply these new changes, right? The command what you first find it out. What is your release name? If I say Helm ls, right? I should be able to get the name of my Helm release. Yeah. So for that, next you need to do upgrade, because we are not installing it. We are now going to upgrade it. I will say upgrade that release name, and then we'll say where exactly our chart has been deployed. I say dot. Okay, because it is present in current working directory. Okay, so if you could see here, revision is 2 now. Okay, now let us go and check all my revision 2, meaning it has been updated, right? So let us go and check our kubectl pods, because we have increased from 1 to 10, right? Let us see it. So if you could see, the this one is only the 5 minutes ago it has been created. Rest all are 24 minutes ago it has been, 24 seconds ago it has been. So if you wanted to count the pod number of a pod, how you can do is with kubectl get pod, add a pipe symbol, wc for a count, yeah, just say -l. If you see, it will show you the number of pods. Okay, it counts even the name row as well. Okay, that is the reason you can think of it as a, is 11 is there, think of it as a -1. Okay, so number of pods are 10 now. Yeah, so now think that if you go and check your Helm list, right, Helm ls, if you do it, let me decrease it here. Our revision, it has been changed from 1 to 2, because the second we have modified it, right? So that is the reason. Okay, so now let us go and change it to currently we have 10 pods. Let us go and reduce it to say 3 and see, say just 3 bit the count as. So what I will do is we are upgrading it. Okay, upgrade again. So if you see, the revision is 3 now. Okay, how do you check it? Say Helm list, if you do it, be able to see your third revision. Okay, I will go and quickly check. We have asked the 3. So if you could see, only 3 pods are remaining. Earlier it was 10 were there. We have reduced it, reduced the number of pods. Okay, the replica number of replicas of this particular pod, it has reduced it to 3 only. Okay, so here using Helm chart, right? In this way you can create multiple resources. So not only deployment it has created, Along with that, as a service, that also it has created. This also it has created. HPA is also created. Service account. Okay. Service account as well, it has been created. So here, if you could, there are conditions also you can add it. For example, in the ingress, right? So it has mentioned this particular this particular Kubernetes resource, it will get created only when values in the values file ingress dot enabled is true. Okay, so let us go and check it out. What is the value of it? So I go and create this ingress enabled is false, meaning if it is true, then only it will go and create it. Now currently it is false, it won't go and create that particular resource itself. Okay. For the Minikube, we don't require it, so that is the reason we are running this. We are not making it as a true. Okay. So like this, there are multiple conditions you can add it. Again, it's on a case by case. Okay. So in most of the cases, a sample follow template itself would suffice us. Okay. So now let us go and now you understood about Helm chart, right? So now what we could do is we can go to our we can convert now. Task was to convert our Spring application, okay, backend application using package manager, and then even the MySQL database. Okay, so let us go and convert that. Okay, I will go. What I will do here is create a folder or yeah. Before going there, there is another command is there. So it is basically, so now whatever the testing we were supposed to do it on this Nginx, right? We have already done it. Now we no longer needed this in this particular chart. So how you delete it? It's basically just say. So earlier, if you remember, we have used install to install our Helm chart, right? So the opposite of that one is uninstall. Say uninstall. If before that, let us pick the release. So I'll say uninstall. Okay, I will say this, but I will say name. That's it. Uninstall. If I go and say get pods, everything is gone. It has deleted successfully. Okay, so say all. Everything it has been deleted. Service, you can see everything it got deleted. So as a whole, right, whatever in the template, in order to create it, when you say install it, all these resources which are present in the template, everything it will get created. Okay? And whenever, if you wanted to uninstall it, it will go and delete everything. Rather than if you are using only YAML file, right, you need to go manually one by one. You need to delete it all. The bit headache for us, right? So that is the advantage of our Helm chart. Okay. So now what we will do is we have deleted it. You go and check Helm ls. There are no releases are present. Okay. So now what we will do is just go and create our Helm chart for MySQL database. I will say back one. Okay. I will say rm rf. Delete it of that Sangam. Don't require anymore. Deleted it. Now what I will do is I will create a one chart. I'll say Helm create. The first one would be MySQL. Say create. So MySQL has been. Go back to J. Here our chart it has been MySQL chart. Also automatically it has created it. Everything, all the related files it has gone and created for us. Okay. So now what we need to do in order to run our MySQL chart. So back my where we had our all YAML files, right? Back to that, our backend, right? So the last week session, we have deployed all this bit. Okay, so MySQL related bit. So these are all the 4 YAML files are. What I will do is I'll just do a copy. Okay, helm. So these are all the things we don't want it, as we are not interested. Keep only rest other. Everything it has been deleted. Paste it out. Whatever it has been copied. So if you could see here, for all these files, it has been kept over here. It has been copied over here. So now the values.yaml file, pick only one. Rest other things we don't require it. So if you wanted to customize it, you can customize it. Keep only the replica count. Okay. Other than that one, what I will do, deployment, you do. Now what we will be doing here, deployment, right? So deployment is our deployment. Yeah. So what we could do, images is there, right? So pick up the values. Values, how you pick it? Image bit, right? So name, keep it simple. Here of the variable as a image. Image. This particular variable, define it. MySQL. That is what we are putting a key and value in the or values.yaml. Copy it. How it will refer is dot image. Now the tag part. Tag. This key can be anything. Tag here. Cut it here. We need to refer it in our deployment.yaml file. How you do? Add this tag name for referring it. That bit you can mention it. Okay. This way, you give our image name, the values, whatever it has been added it over, right? That we are doing a reference. So now, once it has been uh, variabilized, right, like this, what you could do, back to here, okay, go back to our values.yaml file. Just have a look. Chart name is proper. Um, once the chart name is there, and then thereafter, check it out is our rest other deployment services are intact. Okay, all these things once it is intact, right? Then what we will go and run this particular chart. Back to here, if I say ls, I will say MySQL folder. Back to the MySQL. So for safer side, if you want to check it out, get pod, you check it out, right? What I will do is helm install, because I'm installing this chart freshly. Okay, I'll say where is the location of the chart? I'm already in the same folder, hence I will say dot. Okay, say enter. Service account reference. What I will do is ls gave in the validation itself. Let me run it. So if you see, it has been run. Deployed is deployed. Vision is okay. So now let us go and check out get pod. So if you see, is container creating it. Let us give a couple of seconds. 13 seconds ago. So if you see 22 seconds ago, our MySQL database is running. Okay. So if you have a look this bit, right? So as part of our this particular MySQL chart, what all the things we are installing is config map, we are installing it, deployment. Inside the deployment, we have a service as well. Service also we are deploying it. Secret we are deploying it, and a user secret. All these things we are deploying it as a one template, one chart. So let us go and check it out. Okay, great. So if you could password, these are all the things that has been just now. Okay, 60 seconds ago, right? So if you wanted to check the config map, the dot em, em stands for a config map. Config map is created. Next was service. The service created 84 seconds ago. Okay. So now the first part we are able to deploy it. Okay. That is MySQL has been deployed on our Minikube cluster. Wanted to check it out whether it is created properly or not. Okay. For that, what you is just say cube c exe it exe stand for execute, it stand for interactive mode. Okay. I will say pod. Yes. I will say which shell you wanted to be logged in. Okay. I'll say bin bash. Okay. Inside the container. So I have logged into my container of MySQL. Okay. Minus u stand for a password. What we are is admin 123. Able to log in. Okay. Now I wanted to check the databases. Okay. If employee DB, it has been created. Okay. If you go and check it out here, it out for a config map. Config is our database employee DB. What we have asked MySQL. So it not have check it out. Okay. Database tables. Okay. So nothing is there because our application is not deployed. Is currently tables have been not created. So I'll just exit out of it. So I have checked it. I am happy that MySQL database has been installed using our Helm chart because it has been up. Yes, so it says everything is fine. So now what we will do is we will go and create another Helm chart. Okay, the command is for our Spring Boot application. Command is helm. Say create. I'll say Spring. Okay, this name respective name, whichever you're planning to give it, that details you need to mention. Okay, I'll say helm create a boiler template for us. Okay, I should not give dot. Helm Spring Boot. Tabs as we did last time. Off and off. The deployment, all the stuff deleted. Now, what I will do is copy the existing Spring Boot YAML file which we deployed last week. Yes, back to Helm. Oh, I'll paste it over Spring Boot deployment. Okay, this is our standard deployment. What I will I'll separate it out our service as well. That have the service. So it has been a new service file has been created. The other one has a deployment. So similarly, these are all the things we don't require it. So now next bit is our the image and all the tag, right? So I will copy the last one MySQL, paste it over here. Same thing, deployment, the image name, whatever we have picked it up, right? The same format I have created it. We use the same thing. Okay, I'll copy paste it over. The values I'll pick it up. Now currently it has been hard coded. I am changing the hard coding. Yeah, 28th or tag is 28. That is what I'm going to. So here if you see our replica is also there. That is hard coded as a 1. Okay, what I will do, I will tokenize it, make it a the replica count name. This can be anything. Okay, I will say if I wanted to say Spring Boot pod number. Okay, pod number. Can name whatever the key value name. Here it should be the same thing. Whatever we are referring, right? That is what we should mention, right? That is what we have done it. Okay, and the name. Okay, so I'm not happy with this particular name. Okay, what we will this particular employee name. Okay, we will make it as a different one, not a different one. I will say I will variabilize it. Okay, I'll say a name equals, as of now for names for temporary I'll make it as is. Name we have given, I'll change it to, so values dot name refers in the runtime, it refers to our line number 8. Okay, so line number 8. Now these are all the bits we have configured it. Just run it out. Fine for us. We have converted it properly. Now let us go inside the Spring Boot. The first command what we will run is helm install. Okay, if I do a helm ls, existing one MySQL one, it is dead. So let me go and install the our Spring Boot application. Helm say install boot. This also name whatever you want to give it, you can give it Spring Boot and then dot. is where exactly our Helm charts exist. You see, it has created our Helm chart. Sorry, our Helm release. It has done it. If I go check it out, release bit. Okay, let me see the Spring Boot default one version. It has been deployed. Let us go and check it out, whether it has been deployed successfully or not. Obviously, sometimes you may face issues, but you need to sort it out. Okay, get deployed. So if you could see here, our employee application has been up and running from last 34 seconds. Check our deployment as well. If you see, our deployment is also looks fine. I will go and check our services as well. This short name is okay. So if you see, employee service has been called properly. Okay. Now this is our application, right? Let's go and check it out. Let us now test this particular application. How exactly you we use a postman or a curl command. First, what we will do? First, we will import for word, okay, a service name. This is our service name. Okay, I'll give in service. Let me 70 8080. Let me try to use the same port, not confuse. The first port is the my laptop, from my laptop how I wanted to access it. Second port is the container port, which is running on our it's a service port which exposed here. So here 8080 port, right? The port we need to mention. So it is kind of a tunneling. If I take port forward, there is no slash, minus tunneled. Okay, so let us test it out. Yeah, I will say look here we are able to access our application. Okay, let us end our postman to test this particular application. Okay, if I do a get, right, a record for us. Refresh, first record it has been added. Change it. Third, and it second record has been created. Yeah. So this is fantabulous, right? All the data. So now if I do a refresh, you get a second record. Okay. Now using Helm, we have deployed it. Okay. Think that accidentally someone tab think that pod, I say get pod here for employee. I mean, someone accidentally deletes stuff, right? get pod, automatically Kubernetes create our pod, right? Because our deployment has all those data. Okay. So now accidentally someone deletes your deployment, then what will happen? If I say delete deploy, I will delete my deployment. If you see here, someone deleted my deployment. What it will do is deployment is gone as well as our pod is also gone because deployment is the parent, right? So whatever it has been there, it has gone lost. Okay. So in those scenario, what will happen? In this case, so if I go and see helm ls, right? There is a release is there, but someone has accidentally deleted it. Okay. In those case, what we will do, just say upgrade our was spring boot. Okay. Dot. Though it has been deployed it, okay, it has made a second version. Someone has accidentally deleted, right? It will go and create whichever the resource it has been deleted, right? It will go and create it. In this case, only deployment was deleted, deployment and pod were deleted. Now it is backup, okay, within a fraction of second, right? So in this way, what we will do is, if any accident happen, right, so we can take a corrective action in a fraction of second. Yeah, not only the deployment itself, anything which is Kubernetes helm is managing it. Okay, in this case, service it can be config map, or it can be any secrets or a username secret, anything, any Kubernetes resource. Okay, which is controlled in the helm chart itself, which is part of a helm chart. We can bring it back. Okay, so now coming back to the next bit. Okay, think that you have a employees app, right? So this is our employee app. Okay, so now you wanted to have environment wise, the naming convention you wanted to have as an environment name. Okay, so what do I mean is, so instead of employees app deployment, I wanted to differentiate it, saying that it belongs to dev environment or test environment or production environment, right? How exactly you do that? You can append a different name. Okay, so how do you achieve it? It's basically copy this particular file, okay, paste over here. So I'll say underscore dev. Okay, here what I will do is app deployment, just append here, change it as dev. So I'll say dev to the name. Okay, so I go and I have created a new values.yaml file and change the value of a name like this. Okay, so now I wanted to install it in a pod also. I wanted to deploy it. Okay, the command what at that time what you could give helm upgrade. Instead of helm upgrade, I'll say install, and I will say spring boot. I will say hyphen dev. Okay, dot is the same place. I will say minus f stands for a file. I'll say for dev. So I'm giving or overriding this values dot dev.yaml file. So earlier I was not mentioned the values.yaml file, right? So by default, what will happen is, if you don't mention it, if there is a values.yaml file is there, Helm is intelligent enough to pick these all key and values from this values.yaml file by default. Okay. So if you have created a new dev.yaml file and you have changed the name, right? What you could do is, same code is same, remains the same. Just for the dev environment, you have this variable, this value. Okay. Everything, no other code you have touched it. Okay. So what you will do is helm install spring boot, the different release name you need to give it, and a different YAML file you need to mention it out. So if I say it, okay, so there is a our service name, the same name. So I need to correct that as well. Correct it out. Because of that, it gave an error. the service name tries to deploy with the same name. So that is the reason it gave a error for us. So the error, right? Rendered a manifest contain a resource that already exists, able to continue with the install. That is a service name. Let me tokenize this as well. So what we could do is here say name, right? Double quotes there, deployment. Okay, will appending a deployment name thing a service as a SV, call it as properly. Okay, the name is dev case dev.yaml file. We of this bit, so automatically it is deployment, append deployment here, and it is doing the name, right? So service it will add automatically. Okay, our dev, the name, and then for deployment hyphen deployment it will add, for service it will add a hyphen service. Okay, now let us go and modify it. Run this bit. Already we are using, that is the helm chart. Created the helm chart. Okay, right now, but it's on the second version. If I go and check get pod pod, it has been up and running. If you the dev name space dev pod it has been created appending with the dev hyphen. Okay, let us see services as well. See, dev is also service is also appended with the dev. Okay, in this way what we do is the environments we change it out. Think that we same thing. So let us try to that taken care. And that as well, that is making the not right. So now let us think that we wanted to install a for the test environment. Out test. Here I have changed my test by 1, the same image. Now go all the test the test here install has been installed. Check it out. Test has been the same application. Okay, I am not modifying anything, right? So seamlessly modification one.yaml file application is getting deployment. Okay, so if you wanted to again for the production, okay, I'll just copy paste again. I will say prod. Sure. Okay, the same number as usual. Say prod. In order to install it, prod is name of prod. I'll go install it now. You see it has been installed. Exactly, you will check get pods. The prod one, it exists, right? So this way, using Helm, we'll try to deploy it. Okay, so what we will check, there is another command if you wanted to grep it, right? Just say grep prod. Okay, it will list only the prod one. So it has been up and running, right? So now, in this way, what we do is we try to install a different environment using the same Kubernetes Helm chart, right? We try to go and do a deployment across the different environment. Okay. If you like this content, just like the video and give any comments if you add. Okay, I'll be tomorrow session. We will take it to the next level. That is, we'll try to deploy the same thing on AKS cluster and access it over the internet. Okay, so until that one, if you have any feedback, provide to us. Be able to add it out. Okay, yes. What I will do, check it out. Any there. Sorry about that. Sorry guys, I'm bad. Thank you guys. Let us catch up in the next tomorrow session. Yeah, bye guys.